producer, relationship experts.
I wanted y'all to sing that.
What could this be about?
Just producer, relationship expert. Oh, okay.
Sounds like a real piece.
Yeah.
Ghanaian actress Yvonne Nelson is currently promoting her new movie, If Tomorrow Never Comes, which, by the way, she produced and granted popular lifestyle magazine Genevieve an interview.
Is that her looking? Oh,
Yeah, I think she's the one second to the right.
She's the one sitting down.
she looks really Ghanaian right
Wow.
there. I know it's good.
So, anyways, in the interview, Yvonne spoke about her relationship with Iyanya. Interesting. She denied relationship rumors with Ice Prince, and then she went on to give some lessons she learned from the past relationships. She said, and I quote, "Don't believe the hype. Don't believe all the things men say. A man who is all sexual from the very beginning is a no-go area. He just wants to jump into bed with you. If a man truly loves you and is ready to be with you, he will be there for you. Relationships are much more beautiful when it starts as a friendship. So you're able to goof around with the person. I love goofing around. I love to be myself and do funny videos."
Funny videos.
Your waist. Do you agree with what she says?
Okay, by friendship, how long are we talking about? Because I don't understand. If you're, I mean, it's all about maturity. I mean, it's common knowledge that if a man is all sexual with you at the beginning, that's all he wants most of the time anyway. But if you're talking about friendship, how long are we talking? Okay, I look at this man, I like him, he likes me, we want to have a relationship, but let's have a friendship first. For how long? There's no time. If you like each other, you like it, just get to know yourselves and get it popping. Don't.
No, me, I agree.
No need for long thing, I beg.
I agree with the friendship part. Although, before I talk about the friendship bit, I just need to say that when is she going to stop talking about Iyanya? When is she going to have an interview and Iyanya will not be mentioned?
Well, they keep bringing him
Yeah,
up.
because most journalists these days aren't journalists.
But Iyanya ain't talking about her, though.
Exactly.
Iyanya ain't talking
No one is
about her.
asking him. It just means that the only relevance she has, or one of her huge achievements in life, is dating Iyanya.
No, she just hasn't moved on. That's all.
No, it's
That
not
was
that.
claim
Journalists
in
will
the
bring it.
Nigerian market.
I don't think so.
No, but you
Journalists will
can
keep
say that,
bringing
I
it
don't want
up.
to talk about that. She will always keep talking about it. They say that anybody can bring nonsense to you. It's you that would argue whether you want the nonsense to settle or not. Just say, I don't want to talk about it.
Hello, please leave her. That's her claim to fame in Nigeria. Let her have it.
All right, and Ice Prince looks like Tunde behind the scenes. I just saw the picture. Anyways, okay, so I think I actually do agree that you need to be friends with someone first. If I'm going into a relationship with you for a long term, with a long term in mind, and I don't think maybe 3 months of friendship is not too bad. It's not too
That's
much.
getting to know each other. What is the...
Yeah,
You're
but-
friends
Yeah,
anyway.
like that thing, and let me know, like that thing confuses me. I know they
getting
say
to know
yes,
each
it's
other.
best to date your friend, you get married to your best friend, or date somebody that you're friends with. Like, is it that you're going to say, okay, let's take like 6 months and be friends, before we escalate? It's like,
to even jump into what you're saying, I have to use my parents for example because they're like my heroes. But the thing is, my dad and my mom, yes, they got married, but they didn't exactly. It wasn't an arranged marriage, but they didn't exactly know each other that well. But now they are very good friends. Most times people say, oh, you should be with your friend, as though it's by, people are now forcing it that, what, I have to be with my friend. Is this my friend I'll be with? No. You can go into a relationship with someone who wasn't your friend initially, but then you guys will bond into friends. Friendship is not forced.
Yeah.
So let's get that straight.
I think what it should be, it shouldn't be, maybe be friends first. It should be understand each other before you jump into a relationship. Because most people see themselves, they're like, oh, I like you, I like me. I like you, you like me. Everything is going well, we're hanging out, we're having fun. And then they believe that, oh, that's basis for a relationship. But I think you need to understand the kind of person that you're seeing and to know that if this is the person you want to build a relationship with.
Now, I would still go for the friendship thing. I would still want to be, because I don't like actually meeting people in terms of knowing that, okay, this is the reason why we're talking. Like when people say, I have a guy for you, he's nice, talk to the person, because you always put your best foot forward. But if I met you and we're just people that knew each other and all that, you are able to be yourself, you're able to get to know the person. The person is not trying to impress you.
But how many friends end up with each other? Because it's an ideal situation. Yeah, everybody would love to be with their friend, but how many friends?
It doesn't matter how many people. It doesn't matter how many people. In an ideal situation, I would want to be your friend before we start anything. In the same vein, in looking at the fact that, okay, I meet you, I would want to know you before I commit to you. Do you understand? I won't immediately say, well, I think the chemistry is great, we have good, there's just something between us, let us start dating. I would still want to get to know you as a friend.
See, the difference for me between friendship and getting to know each other is, even though it sounds like it's the same thing, the main difference is when you're getting to know each other, we're going to date.
Yeah.
So you're getting to know each other as it pertains to a potential relationship versus, we're friends. Hey, friend, what's up? Hey, buddy, how? No, I think that's really a waste of time. It's forced.
Yeah.
With time, the friendship will come in and it will be long-lasting if it's meant to be. I don't like when people, have you heard of relationships where they were friends, then they had a relationship,
and then
the friendship dies. So what's the point?
Which is usually the case. Friendship
when you date a friend that you've known for a while, is usually the case. So I think if you like somebody, you just take your time and get to know each other. And if you guys eventually blend, you blend. If you don't, hey. But let us know though, do you agree with being friends with somebody before a relationship? Hit us up on Twitter and Facebook at CoolTV. The blog is the page and the handle, and of course use the hashtag
Love to Love.
You're back.
Sounded better. So much. It sounded much better, I must say.
Wow.
Now, this is the blog.
Oh, wow.
More money, no problem. Apparently, comedian AKPORORO is definitely smiling to the bank. He recently signed on as a brand ambassador. So yeah, dude is chilling. Now, if you remember though, AKPORORO was heavily criticized for what was considered a poor performance at the ceremony at the inauguration ceremony. But he clapped back, saying that only his bank account would truly determine if his performance at Abuja was funny or not. The funny man surely showed that he was very well compensated for his efforts at the inauguration ceremony when he recently bought himself a luxurious car and posted a picture of it on Instagram. Of course, where else would they post pictures? With the caption, "If no be God, if I no funny at all, that's my new machine." Wow. Okay, you go, boy. Nice. Now, according to AKPORORO, money could be an indication of success. What other things could show that you have achieved success?
Yeah. I really love this question because what I had in my head was actually heading there. It's just like Jamie Foxx's bad performance at the Mayweather fight. Of course, if Jamie Foxx, they would have paid him so much money for that, but he didn't perform well. You don't come out, it's only if you're an amateur or if you don't understand the environment and the business you're doing that you come out and say, okay, yeah, because of the money, I definitely did well. It was a bad performance. You don't have to reply people. It wasn't your crowd. AKPORORO cracks all the poverty, if no be God, if no funny at all, those kind of jokes. And then you had a crowd with mixed people from other countries coming there. You didn't do well with them. It's not such a bad thing. Ignore it and move on. Or simply you say something more smarter than getting a car and then saying your bank account is. Money is not an indication of success, please.
I agree. It could be a measurement. It could be a way to gauge, wow, you're really successful. But I think, no disrespect to AKPORORO, I think it's a little shallow when people focus on my bank account. Really, anybody can be wealthy. There are people out there making illegitimate money.
Bronze girls.
They're blowing up. Bronze girls.
Chicks on the streets.
It's just what it is. It's sad, but it's true. So my thing is, focus more on your craft. We talked about Basket Mouth, how back then he got booed, even though I'm sure he didn't get a whole lot of money then if he got paid. But he went back, did his research, and you just keep moving. The thing with the cars, flossing, I know it's packaging, but please calm down. Let's stop acting like we never chopped soup before. Up in here.
My thing now is that I noticed the car that he bought. That car should be within a range of maybe, 20M or thereabouts?
No, much more, I think.
My thing now is, I don't know how, hefty his bank account is or how steady his income is. You buy a big car like that, it's going to take a lot of maintenance. Is it wise because you hit big money at one event to splurge out like that?
I think I thought also, about that in terms of measuring success, I think that musicians, I just don't understand why people think that the moment you make money, you can buy a car. By the way, a car is a depreciating liability. It's not an asset. The moment you drive it out of the dealership, it starts to lose value. Whenever you sell the car again, you can never get it for that much. You know, invest in other things. Just an advice to people who are watching.
A friend of mine, her husband said, all these artists you see running up and down, flaunting this, flaunting that, how many of them are actually rich?
And they
How
don't
many
have
of them
houses
actually
or
own
packaging.
houses?
It's
He said, can you
packaging.
how many
You
of
don't
them
have a
own
house.
houses?
Packaging.
How many of them can say they own a house in Ikoyi, which is like a really expensive place to actually buy a house
But
in?
think about
they
it
be
though.
buying cars.
Isn't that sort of like the demand? Poverty mentality.
Yeah,
Isn't that like the demand? The more they put these things out, the more people go, wow. It's like the
Yes.
demand goes up for them.
Because they're just showing this.
I
It's sad,
understand
but it's
packaging, but package with sense.
But I wish you saw the picture. If you see the house where he was parking that car, you'll be very sorry.
Maybe that wasn't his house.
Doesn't matter, but as in, it means the place, the background was like, look at this man.
Yeah, but do you look at the background?
Yeah,
of
the background was
picture?
not good at all.
Maybe that's where he bought the car from.
That means he bought Tokumbo.
No, what if the
terrible.
person just happened to have the
Anyways,
car?
talking about success and how to measure success, something like what you guys have all said in terms of how long would you last? You know, are you just a drop in the pan? Because like you mentioned, Gloria, if you develop your craft, you'll be here for a very long time. Now, when Basket Mouth got a day named after him in a foreign country, that's a measure of success. Not that, yes, and it comes with money. Of course, that's the thing about when you're very good at what you do. You might not get money immediately, like all these people do one thing, one hit wonder, sing one stupid song, it hits. But you would last for long, and then the money will come
I want
eventually.
to use Sound Sultan as a case study. I remember when, you know, Sultan started, you know, people started warming up to his music, and then he's friends with like Two-Face, and then Two-Face is, you know, doing big things, and like all the other artists around him were doing big things, getting endorsements and everything. But I applauded Sultan because he kept on going. He wasn't making as much money as these guys, but he kept on going slowly and steady. People were warming up to him. More people were loving him, and he was consistent. Now Sultan is one of the owners of a basketball team. How many musicians would have thought to invest in that? He has endorsements everywhere.
They're
Like
buying
he's
cars. He's actually one of the most respected.
like he's one of the
people
most
to me.
respect, and he didn't have to sell out. He kept on being him and giving good music and putting his head down and working and providing for himself and his family.
So,
and
okay,
it's somebody I say is successful.
What do you do with your checks?
Say what now?
What do you do with your checks?
I don't understand. It's not about me.
Let's talk about this.
Let's
Hello.
talk about you, Miss
Let's
Giving
talk-
you what
no,
you need.
let's talk about you.
Let's talk about you.
No, let's talk about you.
No, let's talk about you, Miss Giving
Gloria,
you
we
what
spoke
you
about
need.
me.
Okay, I have a
Today's
couple of
your turn.
mansions, all right?
All
Let's
right,
keep it
okay.
moving. Thank you.
All right, so according to AKPORORO, money could be an indication of success. What other things do you think could show that you have achieved success? Or let's put it like this, what does success mean to you? Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter and Facebook at Cool TV. The blog is the page and the handle. And of course, use our hashtag
Love to blog. I just bring fire into the music.
No.
It's kind of like Boys to Men, though, like without bass.
that was, the bass was me, but she went blog.
Decide on what note you want to sing. Today you're soprano, next week you're tenor.
Okay, we're going to go on a brief break. When we come back, we have our real piece. This is the blog. Stay tuned.
Steal the blog on Cool TV, and it's time for the real peace. Always time for the real.
Please, we're not in church.
I'm
Please,
not even
please,
interested.
I beg.
I'm not interested.
I was
enjoying it.
I bet you were.
You should be a Christian.
I know, wow.
And we're not.
That's very
Wow.
deep. That's such an indication.
Even me, I don't know what to say.
You're in the church. You say we're not in the church. Are you not a church? Well, this is not a church show. Our real piece today. Who do you stand by? Your husband, wife, or your children? Yeah, don't worry, you understand as time goes on. This question can be dealt with in so many ways, but we'll try to narrow it down. Most husbands or wives stand by and watch their kids being abused by their spouse. For instance, there are spouses who beat the kids excessively rather than correctively. What would you do in such situations, bearing in mind that your spouse is your first responsibility before the children? Which brings me to a part in the book, The Gods Are Not to Blame, written by Olarotimi.
Nice.
Nice one.
King Odewale had ordered the son of his wife, Queen Ojuola, out of the kingdom. when the king later saw the queen, he said he thought she would live with her son. And she said to him, "My lord, it is you I married, not my son."
Did she eventually marry her son?
Yeah, she did.
Now, that the king, Adewale was actually her son. So as much as it's hard to accept the truth, the truth is that as a married couple, your husband or wife is your first point of duty.
Or your son? Because that one was a very twisted example, but
you know then,
Proceed.
you know then he had not known it was the mother. So I'm
Okay.
saying when they thought they were just normal married people.
even though the age difference.
Yeah, I was going
didn't
to say
indicate
normal
that.
married people.
It is our tradition, so let's not even go into that. Yeah, when a king dies,
You marry
you
their
inherit
son.
the wife.
In what in the eastern
No, I'm
part
not
of the
talking of
country?
the son. I'm talking of no. That one is different. Nobody
let's
knew it was the
focus on
mother.
the real
So.
piece. This one
Anyway, but what do you think about this? Who is your first point of duty? Your husband, your wife, or your children?
My children.
Husband.
What?
Husband.
Really? I judge you.
I'm sorry, but yo, I pushed the human being out of my part.
And who put the human being besides the Lord?
I don't know.
Did you put the human being there by
I
yourself?
just feel like if you give birth to a human being, you're responsible for that human being.
You're both
life.
responsible for the
but
human being.
He's also the
Yes,
parent.
but I'm not saying I'm gonna like neglect my husband, whatever. But I'm sorry, if my husband needs me and my child needs me, it's my child. I go
No,
for.
listen the situation of this, aside from the whole drama surrounding these people, they're a married couple and the man sends the son out of the kingdom. He was expecting the wife to leave the kingdom with her son.
Okay, no,
But
that's
the woman was saying he's her husband, why would she leave? But most people would rather go with their children, saying,
Most
no.
mothers will go with their children.
Yeah.
This is why I think it's not that they don't love the husband less, but they are worried that where would the child go? How would the child feed? What would the child do?
And then
So
you
I think it's
leave
more
your
out
first
of-
responsibility.
I think
You leave
it's
your
more
husband.
out of worry. I think yes, when you get married, your husband is your first responsibility. But I think when the kids come, your kids are your first responsibility. That's
Okay,
my-
I mean, in terms
what
of,
I
sorry,
think.
Odewale and his mother and his wife, you know,
And
both of them, two in one. But I mean, supposing it was a real life situation, I think, to be honest, I think situations you cannot have a blanket solution for everything. Normally, my husband would come first. But in that situation, I think I would have gone with the child because his motive was callous. At the end of the day, this is not just my child. It is our child. And he also gave up his responsibility as being a father at that point when he sends the child out. Like Kel said, that child is a vulnerable one. Later, after he's okay, I cannot come back to the house. But at that point, his motive was wrong. I did bring up the child. God will still ask me for how I looked at her, what he put in my care. So yes, I will still tell you, I love you. I think
Can't
you're
you
the
look after
best
the
man.
child without leaving your husband?
He sent him out of the
Yeah,
house
but
now.
there are still ways the
kingdom.
child can be
The kingdom.
catered for. There are still ways the child can be catered for without you
Like
leaving
what,
your
you send
husband.
somebody to go with the child to
Yeah,
look after
And you
the
check
child.
check on the child periodically.
But you know, I'll be scared, sorry. I'll be scared to live with that kind of man. That man is a wicked man. He's a callous
Chase
man.
your own
Yes.
child out.
Yeah,
He's
that's kind
wicked.
of abusive. But going to the part of, would you, for instance, when parents are actually beating their kids, that one is a very tough one. But I always say it, and I keep emphasizing, I don't care what that man is doing. You don't go there defending that child in front of your spouse. Because that already creates a divide. And children are very impressionable. Before you know it, mommy loves me, daddy hates me. And they grow up and have that impression for real. So scolding, I actually know of a man that the mom would always scold the father whenever he went off. And he hates his father, like no kidding. But you can't really understand it. Now, some parents get overboard. So that's why you behind the scenes, you call your spouse, you talk to your spouse, you all find a balance. But you don't ever scold your spouse while he's disciplining your child.
I agree.
But what if
not
your
healthy.
spouse is over disciplining the child?
You wait till.
There's a way
afterwards
you...
now.
But
If your spouse is really beating
I mean,
the
if he's about
child
to kill
up
the child,
point
you
of-
jump
course,
there
if he's
now.
about to- no,
that's
now
a different
that's-
case. And you beg, please. Not that you say, you're a madman. Leave
Yes,
my child.
yes.
No.
You
that's the way
beg.
you
I think
do it.
there's a way you can. I like
Yeah.
what he said.
Daddy,
And then I'm not
Daddy,
saying
or
don't
something.
correct the man. But don't do it in front of the children. You disrespect him by doing that.
Yeah.
You can afterwards. Sometimes some women actually walk away. They go away because the child will not die. Because sometimes
No, but
even
there are
right.
cases where the child actually died.
No,
from
but that
before
one
the
is
child
that
dies,
one.
you
Saying,
jump
like,
in
you
front
need, I
now.
think sometimes, maybe it depends on the type of man you marry. If you know your husband has a huge temper, then you need to step in at some point.
Yes, of
But
course.
if he's disciplining a child, even if you don't agree with it, like, yes, I would say if it's hurting you to see your husband disciplining a child, walk away. Then afterwards, just talk to your husband calmly, just,
But then,
like you said, beg him.
Going
and
back to what
everything.
Ayo said, that's leaving the house with your son. I do believe that there is a way you can cater for your child without leaving your husband. Of course, God will ask you how you catered for the child, but God would also ask why you left your husband, because whether we like it or not. your husband is your first responsibility.
I agree.
Both of you have become one. So I'm sure there are ways around it so that you don't leave one responsibility to cater for one. There are ways you can handle both of them.
What he was banished from the kingdom?
Does not mean you two, you're banished within the kingdom. You still have your legs to go to the market. So you can use the time to go and...
Who do you stand by, your spouse or your child? Let us know what you think and what you would do. Hit us up on Twitter and Facebook at Cool TV The Blog is the page and the handle. And of course, use our hashtag
Love to blog.
Okay, final words.
I'm the singer here. Anyway, yeah. Oh, no, y'all didn't know I was. Oh,
Of
wow.
course I know that
okay.
you're a singer.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to say this. Surgery is not the solution. When you need it for like medical situations, it's understandable. But when you're just doing it to alter what God has created, it's really not good. And it's a very addictive thing. So run from it, okay? You're beautiful just the way you are.
Just
or handsome.
the way you are.
Thank you.
Imagine having to wake up and sleep with someone that you really do not know how to speak to or what his mood is like or the kind of person he is because you just don't know him. It is very important that before you get married, to a very large extent, know the man, know him, be comfortable with him, be comfortable with the way he walks, and talks, and, be comfortable enough to correct him when he's wrong as well. So that's why I always say know your spouse before. It could be through friendship or like the other, the ladies have said, it could be through just
Okay, I agree now. Ayo's last words are
really.
Okay, I'm done.
And then I have to say, you know the way we spoke about friends that always criticize friends? No, I never criticize Ayo, but jumping on what Ayo said, arranged marriage have been known to be the most successful of marriages. So you can marry someone without even knowing them well, but the friendship that you guys will form will become great. And that is the best friendship.
We'll arrange somebody for you after this.
Yes, I will.
Success is not just about money. Money is a good way to measure success by, but true success comes from personal self-fulfillment. So in whatever you do, be successful and also be proud of your achievements. Not just
That was longer than my speech.
It was
very nice, but it was longer than my speech.
Okay, just a little bit.
Yes, it
What?
was. It
Okay,
was
no,
long.
this Gloria, need partiality.
It was longer. You can vote at Cool TV The Blog, yeah.
Let us know whose last words were longer. Mine or Ayo's. We'll be here saying.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.